All right, everybody, we are live. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. And this evening, I have the brother Caligenesis on with us. And we're going to go in a different direction this evening. We're not going to be discussing Liberia, even though it might come up. But today we're going to be discussing, and Kala, you're the best person to really unpackage this and break this down. What's been going on in Black America just this past month? Some people say,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Some people might say it has a lot to do with the full moon, but it's just been a lot of weird buffoonery going on. From
there's no end to it. There's no end to it. No end to it. It's like, my whole thing is, like I've said, for the longest time, you have white America and you have Black America. You cannot have two races of people, like Abraham Lincoln said, competing with each other. Someone has to be the master. Someone has to be the slave. Someone has to be the cool person. Someone has to be the nerd. Someone has to be the winner. Someone has to be the loser. You know what I'm saying? Now, for the longest time, this is very, very important. Very important I want people to listen to this and listen to this very, very carefully. The white people control the image of Black people in America. We are what they say we are. You know what I'm saying? We are what they say we are. You know what I'm saying? When you are a slave or when you are oppressed or you are owned, you are what your owners say you are. If owners say that you are niggas, guess what? You are niggas. You know what I'm saying? If they say you're poor, you're poor. If they want to put it out there to the world that you're ghetto and dangerous, did you see that one video with the Japanese guy? What's wrong with Black people? Some nerd Japanese guy.
I have not seen the video yet, but I
saw you heard about
it. Yeah, I heard of it. But I have
not. Matter of fact, we got time. What we can do is go on YouTube and we could play a clip of it, share it, and saying, to get people angry or whatnot. But I don't want to get people mad right now, so we'll talk about that. The world, no matter, this ties into what the Bill Cosby situation. All the work. I look at how many honorary degrees Bill Cosby had. Must have had at least 100. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Temple's taking back their honorary degree. They're taking him up off the Walk of Fame. All this lifetime of work. Bill Cosby done so much, right? Now, whether he's guilty or not, right? Remember, he was accused of sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? That's not rape. That's sexual assault. So in other words, you can be walking down the street and you're with a woman one night, she's drunk. Let's say you grab one and y'all had a liaison, whatever like that. And Dinus, one day you got $70 million in the bank, right? Guess what? You got sexual assault. Well, did you have? Yeah, but we were both doing that. No, guess what? It's sexual assault. That's a very vague thing. Now, I'm not saying Bill Cosby.
You know what's crazy? They're saying now that he needs to have $100 million on deck to pay these claims.
And you're gonna tell me if Bill Cosby was a guy in Burger King, would we even know his name right now? Of course not. If he was just some thug working in Las Vegas who got a woman drunk and took advantage of her, whatever, but we know who he was 35 years later? No. But because he's Bill Cosby and everything, and this woman was after him for years. You know what I'm saying? These women have been after him. You know what happened that night, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what happened and everything. But we had to, no, I don't remember it like that. And it's blackmail. He paid people off. But his mistake was being a man and being weak. You know what I'm saying? Being weak. And that's, like I said, everybody has their flaws. Bill Cosby was this TV dad, stuff like that. But he had a weakness when it came to women. You know what I'm saying? He had a weakness like women.
But this is the situation. Somebody brought this up, and let me get your opinion on it. Now, I was looking at pictures of him and his wife. Camille. Is it Camille Cosby? Camille Cosby?
Camille.
She was a beautiful woman back in. And if you look at these women that Bill Cosby is, I guess now, I guess I don't know, allegedly assaulted. I mean, they look methed out, dusty. I mean,
it's all. It's all about some of the things. One of the clues is one of the women told him like this. A lot of women go to him for comfort, right? He's this older man figure, and then this is the sticking point here. Now, Lisa Bonet said there was always a weird thing about him. Same to a character, that girl Alexandra, the one from Living Single. Karen Alexander, I think her name was. She said the same thing, blah blah, and said, yeah, sometimes he gave a weird vibe. There's some people say, no, he was a good guy and everything. I believe it was all about the individual woman giving off signals. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or women can give off signals. And then I know for a fact when you deal with older men, especially older black men, I see it all the time, right?
Right.
They get flirtatious and everything, and women, oh, this, that, thing, this is such, this, and I see it all the time. And I tell people, guys, look, leave that young girl alone. You know what I'm saying? You got a wife, leave her alone. Nah, this, that, thing, and nothing's gonna come out of you being her friend. You know what I'm saying? Leave it alone. You got a wife, go home to your wife. I tell people all the time, leave it alone. Now he's a rich man, this, that, thing. Obviously, he gave comfort to these women. He was friends. I bet you any money. At one time, he asked him, "Were you friends with Bill Cosby?" Yes, we were. We were here. We went to dinner. This, that, So when did it break down? Because I believe that these women put themselves in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Put themselves in a situation where either they knew or they'd be like, "This, okay, this, that, thing." And then he tried to break it off. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna go to the next person. Like you said, hell has no fury than a woman scorn.
Right.
It took 35 years. Women want their revenge. You use women. It's not like men. You use a woman.
So, College, let me ask you this: do you think the women went into the situation thinking, well, he's probably gonna dump Camille and swoop me up? And then,
let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
I see it happen all the time. There's women right now who are going after Jay-Z. Jay-Z's falling into the same trap. Women like this. Well, why can't I have her? Women see. This is how I heard this one comedian say this one time. A woman will look at a man will look at a man who's successful, right, and say, "I want what he has. I want to build my own." Right. A woman will look at another woman and say, "I want to be her." You know what I'm saying? I want to build my own stuff. Man said, "I want to build my own stuff up and have my own thing." Women is like, "I want to replace her." She don't want to find her own man. She said, I think I can replace her. I think I could do better than her. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm a better catch for him than her. That's just natural in women, And so why would a woman, if I'm lying, why would a woman go into a man's hotel, have drinks with him, you know what I'm saying? Flirt. Obviously you're flirting and kissing and everything like that, And then he said, well, Spanish fly. Spanish fly is not Molly. You know what I'm saying? Neither is any other. That's not Molly, Molly is you knock somebody out, you take advantage of. Spanish fly is people with porn stars using. People use it to get themselves sexually stimulated. In other words, basically, you can't just give Molly to a woman who hates your guts, who's not sexually attracted to you in the first place. Spanish fly just probably get you over the edge. Say, okay, I'm sexually, I'm not sure and everything like that. But once they take the Spanish fly, they want to go for it. Now, I'm like this, whether that's right or wrong and everything that goes on in those sort of circles, those sort of circles, people do it all the time. And I'm sure the women knew that they were going to take Spanish fly, whatever like that, instead of thing. I'm not sure. But the thing is, one woman recanted her thing saying, well, I did say he took advantage of while I was unconscious. That was a lie. It never happened like that. So I'm saying if she lied and she was one of the original ones who said that, could it be that other people say has consensual sex and then later regret it and say, I was unconscious? Because we didn't hear anything about any sort of evidence that these women, they all admit they had sex with him. But he said it was sexual. And they said, well, I was drugged up and he took advantage of. When you sleep, when you're unconscious, you know what I'm saying? When you sleep unconscious, that's serious. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody could die, you know what I'm saying? And sexual intercourse, they're unconscious and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Why would Bill Cosby, it doesn't strike me as, why would Bill Cosby do that? You know what I'm saying? To a complete stranger. You know what I'm saying? Unless there was some sort of relationship where they were playing these S&M games and this weird stuff and these weird things they do and stuff like that. And why would Bill Cosby in this situation? And why would a woman put herself in this situation? Because it ain't like he met her one day and said, come to my hotel room, I'm going to give you some drugs. That's the overall period of relationships. Her giving signals and her giving flirtation, her giving invitation to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? You got. I know for a fact you deal with women. There's certain women. You ever see some women? They give you that look like, don't even try it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Though you've been around that type of women. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're like, they'll shut you down just by their facial expression, just by stuff like that. They can be flirting and everything like that, but
Right.
as soon as they, that's a woman. Woman is powerful like that. You know what I'm saying? They can shut any man down, just that, thing. And so therefore, how do you get in that situation? How do you have a relationship with multiple times with him? Just that, thing. How did it happen over and over again? Like some women say, well, he kept me as a prisoner in this apartment and stuff like that. Well, no, exactly. I think when he cut you off, you know what I'm saying, suddenly you was a prisoner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's a sad situation, but Gloria Allred and these white femmes like with any sort of sexual encounter. Let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. You remember that heavyset chick, that fat chick that just got arrested by the police, the Black Lives Matter chick, Amanda something.
Whoa, no. Go ahead, keep going.
She was on Roland Martin. She said black men were the enemy, black men were the oppressor.
She got. Is she on CNN sometime?
Yeah. She's like
with the bald head.
No, she's not bald headed, but she's heavy.
Simone Sanders or no?
No, I don't think that's her name. I think her name was Amanda something.
Okay.
But anyway, she just recently.
I think I have an idea who you're talking about, but
she was on an airplane and she was rubbing some white lady's arm, and she said, well, I'm getting harassed by police because I was too fat, whatever like that. But she had a wake up call because she was on there saying, she said to Roland Martin that you don't know you're a rapist too. You just don't, you haven't just admitted it yet. So you got these feminists running around advancing the idea that all men are rapists, particularly now they recruited black women for the narrative that any sort of sexuality between male and female, only sexuality they want to permit now is homosexuality. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
The only thing they want to promote is homosexuality. Any sort of a man having sex with a woman is bondage, female bondage. Marriage.
And let's back up for a second. Remember the who's the black actor? What's his name? Black dude that does the Old Spice commercials.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. So he,
Terry Crews.
I guess, a man at a restaurant or at one of those industry parties grabbed him by the balls, literally.
Yeah, by the balls,
and he filed charges, but they dismissed it in the courts. So
they missed it.
Yeah, so you think because that was a homosexual situation, that's why they dismissed it?
Of course. If you're a homosexual, you're allowed to, on your job, talk about your sexuality. You'll say, if you talk about your sexuality, you'll get fired. You know what I'm saying? That's a microaggression. You know what I'm saying? You may be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell sexist jokes. You can't tell racial jokes. But homosexuals are free to talk about their liaisons and everything like that. And if you basically talk about that, say and complain, you are now homophobic, bigot. This is what the LGBTQ and all the people, and that's, make no mistake, this is who's coming after. But the thing is, they couldn't get Harvey Weinstein, Charlie Sheen, and Bill O'Reilly. They couldn't get these people.
Okay, let me ask you this. Now, a wise black man told me a long time ago that white people will not create rules to tear down their own house. Now,
exactly.
So is that the reason why they can't get Harvey Weinstein and all the dude that was raw boning with HIV? What's his name? The actor
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Yeah, is that why they just okay?
And not only that, Charlie Rose. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was like that. He would show up naked. Old man show up naked. Larry King. All these people have all these sexual deviancies and everything like that, but their good name is never going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Their good name, whatever like that, is never going to, it'll go away. Bill Cosby and everything, because he has sexual intercourse and the image of a black man with power. And then there's an old saying, Mr. Chris Rock said this one thing one time in his committee, he said, in America, you can get rich if you're a black man. You can get wealthy. But he said, but only, and this is true in American culture from day one, when the first European land, only the white man could profit from pain. You know what I'm saying? If you do something and somebody else is hurt, you will be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, O.J. Simpson, you know what I'm saying? Now Bill Cosby, you know what I'm saying? No matter how big you are, it's like the King Kong. People don't understand what King Kong symbolized, you know? Right. King Kong standing on top of the Empire State Building with this black man, but he's in captivity. Mm-hmm. You know, he climbed the Empire State Building. He had the white woman in his hand. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened was Beauty killed the beast. He fell off. He went.
Let me ask you this. Let's get back to Gloria Allred real quick. Now, how are white? I just don't understand. I mean, I understand, but I don't understand. How are white feminists able to put these batteries in these black women's backs and just
because
press?
because the bottom line, this is how it is.
Go ahead.
You have a black charity or feminist organization, right? And remember something. This is where I draw the line at. So many people in social media and everything like that who are now it's become an industry now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people basically have organizations just to organize. They have speaking engagements just to speak. You know what I'm saying? They have all these things going on and everything. And then what happens is this, the money, they got to get money from someplace, right? Somebody shows up to them and says, you know something? You know what I'm saying? I like what you guys said. Oh, we're echoing. I hate this. Okay, I like what you said at the last meeting. I like what you said at the. Jeez. I like what you said at the last meeting. I like what you said and stuff. Why don't you come over to here and hear this other person speak? Oh yeah. Oh, you know something? We got this one project we go to. If you guys get together right here, you know what I'm saying, which means they lose their objectivity because they now co-opting the white feminist ideology. You know what I'm saying? And then they begin to run with it. You know what I'm saying? Say, this is what we need you to join together. And us women, they get there and they're around all these white women and everything like that. They're in a nice posh hotel. They might even go to a country club retreat, And these people feel empowered. They feel important. And next thing you know, you have this thing metastasized into the black community. Issues that had nothing to do with black people. Because what are black women going to gain? White women, the whole idea of feminism is the white boys, the males have been basically passed down generational wealth and opportunity and everything like that. It's time for women to step up and I'm gonna talk about that correspondence dinner and how white female feminists are going crazy in this country because Hillary lost.
Right.
It's time for us women to take over, and these are like this Amazon mentality, right? So what they do is they recruit women of color who have legitimate grievances. There's a lot of sexual abuse in black women, black females. That's what the Me Too movement started for. There's a lot of black women. My sister was sexually abused. I believe that's what messed her up her whole life. By a relative. And so therefore, I understand sexual abuse in Black America, but that's nothing like what goes on in white America, which the white feminists use this to demonize all men. So in other words, basically, if you have white women and white men at war with each other in the 60s, right? Women weren't burning bras and trying to be oppressed and everything, but yet you still have black women who was in the 60s, in the last great generation of our people, who was still talking about getting married and building this and civil rights movement, holding hands with black men, and we're going to build a community. You can't have that. You know what I'm saying? So you had to create so the whole thing is this. Black people can't go no place unless the black male and black female are unified. Any national movement, what they did was they created black women as a separate entity in Black America. We're going to give them welfare.
Repeat that again. Say that again.
They created black women as their own independent second entity in Black America. That doesn't get her bread and substances from the patriarchy, which was traditionally how black women survived for generations. Even in slavery. It was through black men. Marriage, building families, a father. You know what I'm saying? You remember the Roots Part 2? Remember this part where Tom, his daughter, wanted to marry that light-skinned guy, and he was like, "Yeah, this is my word. You're not gonna marry that man." She run it off, whatever, and everything like that. But the bottom line is, I don't think she ran off, but he didn't want to marry her, or whatever. But the thing is, that's what kept Black America strong. You know what I'm saying? The man, the woman by the side. You had a matriarchy and a patriarchy joined together. You know what I'm saying? Black women always had their little social clubs and everything, but they're always aligned with black men. You know what I'm saying? We're a race. We're a people. Feminists came along and made it about gender. You know what I'm saying? Made it about gender. So therefore, they put that one black chick out there a week before the end of the trial to run out there naked. Remember her? She used to play on the Cosby Show as a kid.
Yeah, the light-skinned girl. Yeah. And it was, guess what? It was a white feminist organization that put the battery.
White feminist organization, So the bottom line is, you know what it is? They want to destroy any sort of image of black male patriarchy. Bill Cosby symbolized black male patriarchy. He's the last standing over black male patriarchy in America. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want to destroy. You know what I'm saying? They want the homosexuals. They want the feminist black people. They want the thug. They want all the stuff like that who go along with their agenda.
Right.
But the idea is this: Bill Cosby never allowed his daughters to marry in his TV shows. He didn't permit interracial marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't allow interracial couples. Because he said, "Look, we're trying to build Black America." People don't even realize this, right? Do you know Spike Lee's movie Malcolm X would have never been finished if Bill Cosby didn't step in and gave him like $5 million?
Yeah, I think Oprah gave him some money too, right?
Yeah, Oprah, and it was mostly Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying?
I was shocked when they said Oprah gave him some money, but go ahead.
Yeah. So therefore, Bill Cosby has been doing a lot of stuff in the community. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff in the community, right? And so therefore, after people who believe in his people, if you have such high expectations of your people, you can say certain things. Okay, he said, "Look, man, you guys are not holding it in the deal." He may have came across it wrong, but if you knew Bill Cosby's history, I think he had the right to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he's given $40 million at least to black colleges and female scholarships all his life, you know? So therefore, somebody has, in that position, had a right to say it like this. And then what gets me is this. Let's talk about the culture critic, the institute of the culture critic, right?
Right.
I wish I wasn't echoing because this is very, very, very important to hear.
I don't hear it, but I mean,
I'm hearing an echo.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm hearing it on. Maybe I'm hearing it from your end.
People in the chat room haven't said anything yet, so go ahead.
Okay, all right. Now, Liu Zong, Chinese culture critic, right? Mm-hmm. He was Mao Zedong was a student, right? Had he not been such a fierce culture critic of China, now you would say, now if he was black, you say, oh,
whoa, okay. Let's back up for a second. Now, this is the guy that said that at the end of the day, it's going to be between white people and yellow people, and pretty much black people aren't even in the equation. Is that correct?
I'm not absolutely sure about that, but Li Zong was a post-revolution China, right? He saw, even though they had a revolution, right, in 1912, the Chinese culture was so degraded, right, that Chinese would let people, the Westerners were there carving up China. The Chinese man, this Uncle Tomism don't just exist in America, right? He wrote characters where he said you have this guy, one guy who's Chinese, right? But he's always joking and mocking the Chinese as failure. He sees failure as Chinese, and he say, "Oh, look at you fools, you stupid Chinese, blah blah, you're chinks, whatever. What do you think you're doing?" And he's always in the company of Japanese. He's always in the company of Europeans and Westerners. And he said these type of guys are what holds China down. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So he did different things about the Chinese and the message. And when he write these stories, right? He would say, "Well, the Chinese like, yeah, we're sick people. We're smoking opium. We're letting these people around. Why do we drive the rickshaw? Remember I told you about the rickshaw? Remember I told you the rickshaw buggies? Remember?
Yes.
He said this is humiliating. You know what I'm saying? This is degrading. You know what I'm saying? We every time we see a Western white woman, we're tipping our hats, we're doing all this stuff, and our great civilization is gone. We need a cultural revolution. You know,
and it popped off.
It popped off. You know what I'm saying? On the mouth. You know." And people say, "Oh, it's communism." No, it was a cultural revolution that allowed Mao Zedong to come to power. And so, therefore, now had he not wrote those essays and stuff like that, right? Scathing essays about the decadence of Chinese society. You know what I'm saying? The Chinese high society and the Chinese low society. He mostly attacked Chinese high society. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, therefore, now people by our standards in America. Oh, he's a hater. How he dare he say that about us or whatnot?
He's toxic masculinity.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when black people criticize Bill Cosby for criticizing black people, that's no different than the Japanese critics of the day who said modernization is turning Japanese away from their history. We got to stop this other thing. We're becoming more Western, stuff like that. There was a Japanese leader called Fukuzawa who basically once urged Pan-Asian unity, said, something, we got to basically take a leader role in Asia and stuff like that. And we don't do this and everything like that. We're going to be, the West are going to conquer us all. So culture critics are very, very important. It gets people thinking. If somebody's constantly telling you what you want to hear, right, and you're not doing right, you got to look at Black America, right, and say, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. Now, if you go the nationalist route, okay, I can see how we do this, the other thing. We tried integration, you know what I'm saying? It failed. You know what I'm saying? It failed. We all agree we had to be it failed, right?
Correct.
We look at our culture, and look at our culture in our community right now. We're failing. We're failing now. I say the Black Panther movie was a really, real breakthrough because that one showed me that there's still black people that still sort of believe in, being black. You know what I'm saying? I thought we had lost our community forever, but I still think there's part of us that know that we want something else and there's something beyond our current state in America. Now, Bill Cosby problem was this: he bought into the black boulets ideology of, okay, we could have this we could be this elite black, right, group of black, but, and I'm not casting because I do work with the black attorneys. I did one this weekend. Lovely people, good leadership. But the thing is, though, as long as we're in America, right, the real elite is the white people. You know what I'm saying? There's no black elite.
Right.
If we could basically, uh, 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 show ourselves to be the role models of black people, then we can always criticize. Oh, why don't you guys doing what we're doing? Well, the masses of black people are always working class. You know what I'm saying? As you know, at one time, the working class black people succeeded almost past the so-called elite black people when during the high days of blue collar jobs and stuff like that. So we basically, the working class people, went ahead in life. You know what I'm saying? Went ahead in life. You know what I'm saying? Went ahead. But those days are gone. The Rust Belt was dying up. I watched an article the other day where they said you got people in Detroit. The mayors is knocking down whole blocks because Detroit lost like around 60% of its population. Where those black people go? When they're not there in Detroit building families like they were in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, they're gone. You know what I'm saying? They're gone. Everybody's black American. So you don't have the same sort of community that you had before. So therefore, basically holding black people accountable for stuff that they didn't have anything to do with. Well, go in there and build businesses. To do what you could claim black people, what black people do, requires black people stepping up to the level of being a government, a nation of their own. Now, when you tell them that, they're like, "No, we could do it right here. We're America." Okay, then. Okay, then where's the infrastructure? Where's the industries? Wall Street is not going to build. If they're going to build a factory, they're going to build in the white area before they build in the black area. So we have there's like no foreseeing sight of jobs and those jobs that built Black America for generations of ever coming back. You know what I'm saying? So we have 30 years basically of nothing. No growth in Black America. You got black people going out there and they're doing other things. We're resilient people. We're doing other things, but we don't have the same sort of community that we had back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Look at DC. DC, majority white now. You know what I'm saying? DC is majority white. Detroit's going to be majority white. Harlem is majority white now. So we don't have these sort of communities. And the thing is, as much as Bill Cosby and the black elite help, that they don't have the means to affect change in Black America. That's what he made a mistake. When black people backlashed at him, like, well, how can you blame us for what we don't have? Well, I could do, yeah, but okay, you were a comedian, you did your thing, and you got lucky, you gave back and everything. But you can't judge people because they don't have what you have or whatever like that. That's where I think the disconnect. I understand where Bill Cosby was coming from. You know what I'm saying? But his whole thing was, in the end, he believed that America was the perfect way. Like he said, you're not African, you're American. You know what I'm saying? So if you believe that,
how do you feel about people who, and this is just not limited to the, I'm indigenous, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. How do you feel about Black Americans, descendants of the slave trade, who acknowledge they're descendants of the slave trade that don't identify as African?
Well, like this is what I say like this. I'm not hard on them because a lot of them don't know. Because I had people years ago when I first got on the radio that was the same way. I'm an American and everything. But after I told them, explained to them a little bit of Africa, I showed them the history and everything. Then I show them modern Africa. They see modern Africa. They're like, okay, this is something I could deal with. Then you show them some of the sisters over there. You're like, well, like, whoa, like whoa. I show them an African beauty contest in Namibia. They're like, whoa, this is Africa. I'm like, yeah. I say so. When black people see African progress and African through our eyes, and we put images out there, okay. I show them about the Mali Empire. I show them about the African craft system, the Nyamakala. the African craft group system, which I derive my name from. You know,
Uh-huh.
I show them I show all these things, and I say, look, and then I show them about Liberia, we built the nation over there, stuff like that. Show them the whole history and everything. And then they say, okay, and then now you got people after a year later, this person's saying, oh yeah, I remember the in Biafra. I'm like, so you've been studying? Oh yeah. I studied such and such, did such and such, everything. See, when black people say that, right? Africa is a vague abstraction. It's this place of problems and they're like that. But when you go to the library and pick up a book, right, and you start turning the pages and you start seeing the history, you start seeing independence of Ghana, you start independence of Kenya, you talk about Mau Mau, and you see the Congo and everything like that. You see all these places and everything. You're like, wow, this is beautiful, And then you say, something, and you see the similarity between yourself and the Africans on the continent, how we're just one people and everything. You say Africans are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Well, I see he looks like my cousin such and such. He looks like my brother over here, man. You know what I'm saying? And you see how that a lot of the things that were never lost in African American, like the handshakes and just the way African music is, you don't lose that. You know what I'm saying? This idea, you could put African American or black people on Mars, and 500 years later, there's going to be still similarities and stuff that's going to be retained. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This idea that Africans and African Americans are so different is stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, now you ask yourself this question. You know something? We got a whole big giant continent, the wealthiest continent in the world. You know what I'm saying? And you got people over there who need this, who need that, and everything. You got people who look like us, we're the majority. What if we start building over there and everything? Then they're like, you know something? Same people who are just, I'm American, they're like, you know something? I think I'm a little African too. I had it happen to me all the time. But it takes education because everything you see in the media is strategically done to make you negative about Africa. You will never see an African city on American television. Never. Show me anywhere in American television where you ever, even American movies, where you see a modern African city.
No, but I mean, you see Sally Struthers feeding.
Right. That's what you see of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And then when let me give you an example. I grew up watching kung fu movies, right? I used to watch Shaw Brothers movies, right? One thing Shaw Brothers movies always did, right, was show modern Hong Kong. You know what I'm saying? I remember one movie I got right. There was in the Excelsior. You know the Excelsior Hotel? It's all over the world. Excelsior Hotel. Hotel. There's one movie there in the Excelsior. I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I watched it. This is 1973. Hotel. And then Hong Kong, you see the night street lights and everything like that. So the image of you in Hong Kong, even in Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee, what's the first thing in the movie you saw in the movie when it came on? It showed you a panoramic view of Hong Kong, modern buildings, modern streets, everything. That's when you watch a movie in Asia. That's the first thing they do is show you the street life. Any movie you watch in the world and whatnot, they'll first show you the ports and everything like that. It's like always a skyline view. You ever notice why they do that? To set the setting and the tone of what you think. Now, when they do Africa, what do? They skip all the modernization, right? And they go right to the slums and plus like that. You would never know that people have modern buildings and modern electricity. Let me give you an example. One of our boys put up a post, right, of who was it? J. Cole in Nigeria, right?
Right.
Get this. And then J. Cole was like, yo, I'm African, this and the other thing, right? And then somebody in the comment section was like, J. Cole's in Africa? I didn't know they had they listen to rap in Nigeria, in Africa. And also the one dude said, yeah, I didn't even know they had electricity over there. See, it's ignorance. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know the dude was like serious. I didn't know they had electricity. And the one dude said, yeah, I heard they got shopping malls over there. The one dude said, really? And so therefore, when you start saying that, Africa has these things, they have modernization, they got streets, they got concerts, they got things you go have over here. Then they're like, something, let me get my DNA test done, see where I'm from, But then you got the people who say I'm an American, I'm not African, are in the minority now. You know what I'm saying? Majority of black people call themselves African Americans. You know what I'm saying? That's the majority. Since actually the term African American is hundreds of years old. It was used by Malcolm X. It was used by Edward Blyden. And it was used by during the American Revolution when where the black people who stayed in America and decided to become Americans called themselves African Americans, rather than loyalists to British. They said, I'm an African American. I'm not loyal to the British. It was a pamphlet came out said, story of an African American, and he was saying that, he's an American, not a British. He's an African American. He was an African that was born here. I guess he had African roots, but he was like probably a first generation African immigrant slave immigrant to America. But he got his freedom. He said, "I'm an my parents were born in Africa, but I'm an African American." That's how I so I'm African and an American. And then he had the African Methodist Episcopal Church, the AME Church, and all these African Missionary Baptist Church. So the idea of Africa has always been positive in Black America until, like I was saying, the 1950s when they started putting out the Tarzan movies. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to, do something. They tried to shame us about Africa deliberately. While we're being ashamed about Africa, they're over there robbing the place blind.
Right.
While we're being ashamed about Africa, they're basically like that. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna talk about some more stuff on that.
I mean, but I think as far as Bill Cosby, what made this, I guess, case unique? But how can he be found guilty of something where he present no evidence and it's all?
That's what I'm saying. This is the why. You want to know why? Because of Negroes. I got some of my people who are so-called nationalists and everything like that. Well, he did it. He's guilty. Yeah, Bill Cosby, blah, blah, blah.
Let me play devil's advocate. They're saying that since he admitted to it on tape, that's why
he admitted to having sex. He admitted to having sex with the woman, I think. But
and I think he said that he admitted to drugging them too.
Spanish Fly, did he say he drugged them with without their knowledge? Did he drug them without their consent?
I think something like that, yeah.
Okay, well, if he admitted to it and stuff like that, and still, even though, if he admitted to doing it, saying, well, that would be stupid, saying? That's the Fifth Amendment protects you against self-incriminalization, Now, my whole thing is this. Me personally, why I have a beef for Bill Cosby is okay, you're a married man. You know what I'm saying? You're a married man, and I'm not no moralist or whatever like that, but you're a married man, you're in a public eye.
Right.
You became Bill Cosby, America's dad. You had a responsibility to your fans and people that looked up to you and stuff like that. That should have came first, in all consideration. You have a black men have a problem with controlling their sexuality. We don't know. We got to get that under control. You know what I'm saying? We got to get that under control. This idea that every time we see a woman or whatnot, the first thing we want to do is you can't. I'm like this. When I see a beautiful woman, I want to get to know her. Just being with a woman, I like her beauty and everything. The first thing a lot of brothers do is they think, oh man, she will look good bent over a chair. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like it gets to the point where if you're that sexualized and everything like that, to me, you, if things were desperate, you would run up in a dog or another man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it is. Your urge, your sexual urge. That's what separates humans from animals. You know what I'm saying? Our ability to control our sexual urges. You know what I'm saying? If you can't control your sexual urge, and you're almost on the level of a beast. We're not like that. We should be able to. A man's supposed to have dignity. He's supposed to have poise. He's supposed to have grace. He knows how to. Okay, he got standards. You know what I'm saying? Got standards. Right. Got so like that. That's what a real man does. You know what I'm saying? And that's what being a gentleman is. You know what I'm saying? Evidently, like I said, Bill Cosby, the image of Bill Cosby, because people put him up there to be a role model and everything. It was really done to basically sell Black America on America. Remember that. Think about that. Sell Black America on America by saying, okay, if you do the right thing, the golden rule, which is still good. I still say that Black America, need the morals and the values that Bill Cosby taught in all his movies and stuff like that. We still need that. You know what I'm saying? Let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's a flawed person, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. But the problem is it was done for nefarious reasons. They want to sell Black people as this. We've forgotten slavery. Think about it. You can't just tell me 100 years. Bill Cosby came out in '64 with I Spy and stuff like that. He's on TV. He was a real hit and everything. 100 years after slavery, all is forgotten. And we're just going to move into this new place called America, and as a minority group, as a hated minority group, who basically have consequences with white people, which means race mixing with white people. The compromises what Bill Cosby was. We can live in America, but let's not race mix. Let's not race mix. In other words, basically everything in Bill Cosby, they were okay. If black people marry black people, we can get along with white people. That's a compromise with racism. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people will say, you know something, like Richard Pryor, he was just the opposite. You know what I'm saying? He was like, he married white women. He went out there, he married cuss, drugs, so all this negativity and everything like that. You remember Richard Pryor? Eddie Murphy Raw. He said, Bill paying your bills. He told Eddie Murphy, well, tell Bill have a quote smile, shut the fuck up. Remember that? Eddie Murphy. You gotta see Eddie. I don't know if you remember Eddie Murphy Raw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have.
Have you ever seen that? But that was a big thing. Bill Cosby's always been around. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing, a problem is this though. Okay, Bill Cosby was dirty one time, then he cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Red Fox was dirty, but he said, he didn't want Eddie Murphy and the newer generation going down dirty. He said you can do clean comedy. There was clean comedy versus dirty comedy. You know what I'm saying? The dirty comedy, the Red Foxes and all those other people back then said, look, I paved the way so they didn't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And Bill Cosby told Eddie Murphy, you don't have to do all that. Richard Pryor said, look, man, as long as you're making money and people laughing, it's okay, whatever like that. So Eddie Murphy did his dirty stuff, and at the time when Bill Cosby was giving up his dirty stuff and he's ready to do Dr. Huxtable, you know what I'm saying? And then people are like, oh, how can you Bill Cosby? We remember you from these movies like this, Uptown Saturday Night, and all stuff like that, and all this stuff like that. And Bill Cosby's like, okay, you from Philly, you from the hood, you a grimy dude and whatnot. Now you Dr. Huxtable, you know what I'm saying? But right. so therefore, people are like, you did what you had to do to make it. Now you criticizing everybody else for coming up the same way as the rappers, and the rappers got to say what they got to say to make money the same way you had to get like. Bill Cosby, no, we don't have to do that. You see what I'm saying? Well, you don't have any outlet for these rappers and everything to do clean stuff. They're gonna do dirty stuff. And well, what about hurting the community? The bottom line is, like I said, Black America, so long as Black people are in America, and the reality is white people have all the wealth. Let me give you a perfect example, right? Black people wanted, what we wanted out of the civil rights movement was, we wanted government, we wanted contracts, we wanted construction contracts and stuff like that, affirmative action that's based on rebuilding Black America, Black males. But what happened was in the 70s, right? It came, instead of affirmative action, diversity, affirmative action, and set asides and all the stuff like that being based on rebuilding the Black community that basically they would try to sell us on America with, it became about diversity. What does diversity mean? Diversity means, okay, let's target the white males. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if the problem is not that the Black originally, let's rebuild Black America, right? It's let's basically make America not so white male, right?
Right.
So in other words, basically, they had never any intention of recreating America with Black males. So they said, okay, we'll do this. We'll include white females in the equation. You know what I'm saying? So all these people rose off our momentum. You know what I'm saying? So white females, right. Okay, in the 60s, there were no white female office jobs, executives on Wall Street and stuff like that. So all these white females went to college, got all these jobs in the 70s, 80s, and everything like that, right? Top positions and everything, prosecutors, judges, everything. That was not existing in the 60s, prior to the 60s. And what gave them the momentum? The civil rights movement, the Black Power movement, right?
Right.
So therefore, Asians weren't here until the Asian immigration rules of 1965. You know what I'm saying? The Asians came over here off the boat, right? Because now they can come here legally. The immigration laws hadn't changed, excluding them, So you had all these Asians coming in here, got their education. They moved into it. Then you had all these people from Latin America, you know what I'm saying? Then they said, okay, well, it's still, we got to include Black people. Guess what they did? They got all these Black people from the islands. You know what I'm saying? The African American male, the slave descendant in America, was the least to benefit from the progress of the civil rights movement and the diversity and inclusion. You know what I'm saying? And so this is why when Bill Cosby, we're making a progress. No, the diversity was good for America because it basically made America a rainbow of color and diversity, but the Black community never benefited. And you see the outflow of it. We don't have Black in the majority Black areas like Detroit, whatever like that. There should have been Black international firms. There should be Black-owned stock markets, mercantile exchanges, all that stuff by now. You know what I'm saying? There should be black international firms and everything helping. The black boule and the black people, they were never able to connect with the black community. You got Howard. Let me give you that. Take any university in America, University of Missouri, right?
Right.
What do you see? What do you see? The manifestation of that? You see a wealthy state, a whole upper class, whatever like that.
Right.
You see jobs, everything. They figure things out, right? How come Howard University has never figured out how to help the mass of black people? You know what I'm saying? You see, a university is supposed to solve be able to solve problems. You know what I'm saying? That's what a university. If a university can't solve problems, you don't need it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every university we have in America solves problems. The reason why we have infrastructure in a well-developed system, a first world country, is because of education. And then what education leads to policy. You know, policy. When you have policy, you have legislation. Legislation, you have benchmarks, you have analytics. Okay, this is what we are here. You know what I'm saying? Then you see the manifestation of what they discovered in college, what they discovered at this institute right here. They discovered by this organization donating to this philanthropy group. Okay, we got to do this. We got to build this. We got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens systematically. You know, there's no way of any black institution can systematically help black people in America. You know, there's no way because you have to have what? Land, infrastructure, and nationhood. There's no space. You have to have authority. You have to have power. The only thing black institutions can do is gather what they know and try to make a plea to the white establishment. And the white establishment dictates what happens in black America in the end.
I was going to ask, brother, let's Kanye West. So, you know, I made a Facebook post. I posted this on my Facebook page. Black intellectualism has been reduced to if you leave.
I saw that.
If you leave the Democratic plantation for the Republican plantation, you're now considered a revolutionary. Now,
yeah,
it's just neither party is going to serve our best interest. But why are people?
Right. And like I said in that video that I put out, right? I said either way we're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? But at least with Trump, you know you're losing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know you're losing. You know, and what's happening right now? What's happening right now is all these phony hashtags and all the stuff like that are breaking down. This could give Black America some breathing room. We could go back to the time of, let's say, the 80s, where after when we galvanized and boycotted the apartheid regime. You know what I'm saying? In 86, you remember that? That's when Black America was powerful, and we took that energy into the 1998 thing. But Al Sharpton and Automatics and Twine Bro, they ruined that, and Jesse Jackson didn't get the Democratic vice president. That was 1988 was the last hurrah for Black American political power. That was it. That's 30 years. We have 30 years. We've been in a 30-year spiral. You know what I'm saying? Because in those time period, we knew what we wanted. We didn't have a so-called white friend like Bill Clinton steering us towards all these stupid things that they talk about. You know, we had people like Maynard Jackson. We had people like Andrew Young. People back then, and when you had people like Ron Brown and stuff like that. These people were businessmen. They were educated. They said, "Look, this is what we want in Black America. We're gonna do this." And you have Black people getting major contracts to build things. The Ku Klux Klan, and then what happened is this: you had all these white racist groups revolt. David Duke comes out, right? Oh, it's unfair that minorities are taken away from it. We were getting 3% of a contract of a city, you know, billions of dollars, and they were complaining about that, right? Michael Dukakis said if he won Black America, they're going to increase that to 25% across the board. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine what Black America look right now? And we had 30 years of economic growth. Remember how in the 80 Olympics, a lot of Black people was benefiting in Atlanta, right? Because the remnants of that was still there.
Right.
You know, you had a lot of Black people who benefited from that because they bought up real estate and stuff like that. And then they built the airport there and stuff like that.
Yep.
Maynard Jackson, you know what I'm saying? That what happened in Atlanta was supposed to happen in inner cities all across America. Black contractors benefit. We don't want see people don't understand something. Black people don't care about no joining hands with white people. We want money. We want wealth. We want to be independent. You know what I'm saying? We want economic finance. Without that, we have absolutely nothing. So therefore, what happened was this, right? After 1988, George Bush Senior won, right?
Right.
George Bush Senior won. The second time going around during that 4 year period of time, you had these Aryan nation groups start growing up, right? You had
Mhm.
David Duke, you had all these people, the blacks are taking over. Now we hadn't won anything, right? We get a little bit of crumbs and everything, but their how had the idea is how dare we even ask? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? How dare we even ask? You know what I'm saying? How dare we even ask that we have a construction contract? And there was many lawsuits in the city of Richmond, Virginia, about city contracts and stuff like that. Still, in a majority black cities, whites get all the majority of the contracts. Hampton, Virginia, is supposed to be a chocolate city. When that black people get 1/2% of all city contracts. That's black and other minorities. Mostly it's white electricians, unions, and everything like that. White contractors, everything that do all the work and everything like that. You have a lot of black contractors here, but they're more subcontractors. I guess in the South, you're happy whatever you get. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the major contracts and everything like that usually go to white firms. You know, and they have white logistics firms, which basically you got to be conglomerated. You know what I'm saying? That means basically when you get ready to do a contract, right? You might not be ready to go in this state right here, but you got to plug somebody in to go right here. You got to have all those ducks in a row just in case, what if scenarios and everything before they give you a contract. Fail safe mechanisms. Unfortunately, black people have never built a logistics, a national logistics firm that could unify black contractors, something like a Halliburton. You know what I'm saying? We never was able to do that because the bottom line is because we don't get enough business. You know what I'm saying? We just don't get it. And let me tell you, this is what happened. 1992, right? You had David Duke, right? The far right in this country, basically revolting. They're revolting.
Right.
You had David Duke running around on Phil Donahue show, the blacks, and we're just the worst thing in the world. We have blacks and crime, and this, that, and the other thing, right? And then all of a sudden, along comes this southern white guy, right? Him
Mhm.
and Al Gore, and two southern white guys. And then black people like this, man, we got George Bush, you got Pat Buchanan, you got Ross Perot, and all the things. And then you had this southern white guy, charming. He kisses black babies. He talks like he's cool. He plays the saxophone, and we got captivated. He's gonna save us from these white men. This is another thing. Is we just basically just fell for the charms of the Clintons. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These people are gonna save us. These are the good white folks and everything. And then you had in Black America, you had the growing Million Man March coming on. Yeah, also like that. You have Black America ready for like I mean, I remember the time that was Malcolm X, the movie Malcolm X came out. You have Black America ready for a freaking revolution, a war. You
Right.
know, in Black America, there was like a war brewing in Black America. You had the Rodney King riot. Remember that? You know what I'm saying? You had
Yes.
all stuff boiling in Black America in the early '90s, right? What stopped all that? We stopped all that because we put our faith in Bill Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Master Clinton. And then what happened with Bill Clinton? We had got nothing. All the demands that we had, that we said we wanted, that you better give us a less or else, right? That got put on the back burner. It was a Clinton agenda that had to come first, right? Their agenda was placating white folks, into accepting black folks. And remember, after Million Man March, Bill Clinton got up and said, divorce is not an option. Black people are part of it. Oh, I guess we're Americans. Bill Clinton loves us. See, the whole thing is this. So, therefore, we had all those years, 30 years of nothing. Now, after Bill Clinton, you had George W. Bush, Katrina. Black America was pretty much, politically, black people were apolitical from Bill Clinton to George Bush, right? Until the Gina 6 situation happened. Then black people became politically active. Remember that? The Gina 6
Yeah.
situation in Louisiana? Then black people became, social media was out at that time. Black people started becoming a little more aware of what's going on. Then you had this guy comes along, Barack Obama. You said first black president and everything like that. And then I think that really, really destroyed us politically because
Mhm.
Barack Obama's agenda was not anything to do with black empowerment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We had a better chance with George W. Bush. You know what I'm saying? So you had 8 years of Barack Obama, even though to be honest with you, Barack Obama's the economy was in tank. He had to get the economy moving. I understand all that. Just saying, but for 30 years, and you had like four or five administrations, Nothing in Black America. Now you had this leads up to Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? I knew that Black people had enough of the political system, the political process to be like, you know something is there's enough. I had enough. I'm staying home. I'm sick of running out there like a fool. And then Hillary Clinton had the misfortune of basically being the person where Black people, the running where Black people had enough. You know what I'm saying? Black people had enough of here in the Democrats, they had enough of here in the Republicans. And the bottom line that we basically don't care about either one of them. Now, black people vote in their local elections, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like, oh yeah, every 4 years, who's going to win and everything like that, Black America is done with that. So therefore, it's all about who you like. If you like Trump, you know what I'm saying, that's good for you. If you like, who's the other person? Hillary or whoever runs?
Hillary, Bernie Sanders.
Well, yeah, it does. It's in other words, it does not really matter. It's just a love fest. You like it, whatever, because nobody is going. The political situation in America is so volatile, right? So volatile that you have large numbers of white people out of work. You got white people dying of meth and all this stuff like this. This thing. White people feel like they're being invaded by Muslims, illegal aliens, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? The interests of white America. Then you have the cultural change going on in America, the LGBT, and all this kind of culture wars going on.
We need to speak on that too. So, well, but go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I said you have a cultural war going on back and forth. Hollywood basically tried to create their own version of America and impose it on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And the bottom line, that's not really the way the world is, and we see that now. You know what I'm saying? The Hollywood tried to paint America as we could all be liberal and we're all living like we're living in Hollywood, going to these parties like the Kardashians and stuff like that. We don't all live like that. Particularly they have to get Black people in on it. See, you can't just have white people being decadent and all stuff like that. They have to bring in Black people to join with it. You know what I'm saying? Because God forbid if Black people have the moral high ground. Why do you think they make sure that Black people, if you're gonna have white pornography or like that, you rest assured, like you got now the new thing is you can't call it prostitution, you call it sex work. You know what I'm saying? And you can rest assured they're gonna bring in Black sex workers, right? They're gonna bring in diversity because God forbid the face of pornography. You got this blonde, blue-eyed lady up there, Stormy Daniels, and white people will come on racial conscious. Why is she the face of a porn star? It would have been better if the porn star would have been like, let's say, Indian or Chinese or something like that. She's up there. So bottom line, they're gonna bring in Black porn stars. They already got Black people, Black rappers acting the fool, or stuff like that, and they degraded Jay-Z and Beyonce and all this kind of stuff like that. So bottom line is, Black America has to be in tow with the red carpet, the Golden Globes, all these stupid cultural institutions that get Black America nowhere. Get nowhere. And so therefore, politically, where are we at? Politically, we still got a loose cannon out there. Black America is still going to go to the polls. Who are you going to vote for? Who are they going to go vote for? We could flip the House of Representatives. But the thing, it doesn't matter who gets in power, the Democrats or the Republicans. The Democratic machine is a white supremacist machine, just like the Republicans is. Just that the Democratic machine is a left-wing white supremacist machine, the Republicans is a white right machine. They're both white supremacists, you know what I'm saying? Because let me give you an example. You ask a white Democrat, are you a white? Yes, you are. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you actually believe, you're even more of a white supremacist than the Republicans are. You know what I'm saying? You're more. Why? Because the Democrats actually believe that they somehow are superior. They got the power to change 400 years of something. You know what I'm saying? That you could change 400 years of racism, or 400 years of systematic stuff like that overnight. If we just vote for you. Or basically, you don't think it's odd that a people who never asked to be brought here, right? That you're telling me that you're going to rule over me, you're going to govern me, and I never had any say so. I was not at the Declaration of Independence. I was never at the signing of the Constitution. I wasn't even at the signing of the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. But now you're going to preside over me. You know what I'm saying? You're going to drink my blood, take my money, take my wealth, and you're going to police me. You know what I'm saying? The cops ain't going to go away. You know what I'm saying? The cops ain't going to, the police brutality ain't going to go away. Do you think that the Democrats are going to do anything about that? Of course not. So therefore, they're gonna have the same power over you. It's like this: if somebody calls it's like good cop, bad cop. You know what I'm saying? Bad cop will come in and threaten you. I'm gonna be like this. Good cop tell you, don't look, you have this. Either way, you're still in trouble. You know, so therefore, it doesn't matter who you vote for, Democrat or Republican. You got Democrats are here; they're gonna give you a little bit here. Republicans here, okay. If you're black or upper middle class, whatever like that, you might get a benefit of the tax break and everything like that. But the more and more black people are in the middle. They don't benefit from the social programs that the Democrats espouse, and they don't benefit from the tax breaks of the Republicans. So we're somewhere in the middle. Most black people are working class. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing happening for black people for the last 30 years. You know, I mean, Atlanta, I heard Atlanta did pretty well in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Right. Remember the Olympics? Black Atlanta got a big pay. They're still mad about that. You know what I'm saying? How these niggas make all this money selling property and everything like that. Black people made off during the Olympics.
We did.
You know, every once in a while we get breaks. You know what I'm saying? But that's but we can't make Atlanta a model for every because that's not you know, so
let's let's jump into Janelle Monae. Now, Janelle Monae is in Hollywood. She's an entertainer, a musician, actress.
Right.
She says she's pansexual. Why are black people are picking up all these terms? Like instead of feminism, they call it womanism.
It's not done. It's not just done by accident. This is done deliberately. You know what I'm saying? It's done deliberately. When you see every time I watch television, I see a new movie coming out, and I can see subliminal messages coming out, right? Mm-hmm. And they always make sure they got a black person in there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want you saying, look, these crazy white people. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna do LGBT, it's gonna be a black LGBT. If they start doing bestiality on TV, guess what? They're gonna bring black people in that too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, got you.
It's every you look. You are not gonna escape from them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna bring black people because it's like this. It's like now they don't bother with the Chinese. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, this is the thing. Hold on. So they don't bother the Chinese. They don't bother with the Arabs, but they just bother with black people. They push their agenda.
We are still their slaves. You know what I'm saying? What the master does, we have to do. Let me say it again. What master does, we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? If they go naked on the beach, you know what I'm saying? We gotta go naked on the beach. You know what I'm saying? Everything they do, if they're in the pornography, we gotta be in the pornography. You know what I'm saying? If they're into weed, you know what I'm saying? Marijuana, dope, whatever, we gotta get into it. You know what I'm saying? If we're into this, we gotta get into it. We feel we gotta get into it. Whatever white people do, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? We have to feel like we gotta be part of it, or they make us a part of it, whether we like it or not. And they pick and choose. They reward remember when Genuine, that guy, old crusty old man with a wig, called himself a transgender, tried to kiss Genuine? Remember that?
Yeah. And then they went after Genuine for that. For him not
they went after him for not kissing a freaking another grown man.
Right.
You know, this right here, this is why we have to have this. What people say, well, Colin, I'm the nationhood. Yeah, I'm for nationhood and everything, but the bottom line is we have to stand up and say, look, this is who we are, what we are. You know what I'm saying? This is what they don't like. This is what they don't like about us and everything, is the fact that we don't want to just lie down and just go into the abyss with them. Because all they're asking for us is to lie down with them. We black people, we haven't had our day yet.
Right.
This civilization, the sun is setting on American civilization. You know what I'm saying? Remember I told you earlier tonight? I said I was going to tell Professor Davis, the sun is setting on America. The world.
What was Professor Davis' response when you said that?
Well, he was like, "Well, what about the Native Americans?" I said the Native Americans were wiped out a long time ago. They're gone. You know what I'm saying? There was never more than I would say 1 million Native Americans in America anyway. You know, they race mixing, and them being white people wiped them out. Their genetics, their gene pool was wiped out. You know, and disease and everything like that. Just couldn't the new way of life and everything. So they died off. They're gone. You know, you rarely find any, except in in Canada and North Dakota, you rarely find any real Native Americans. They probably no more than a few thousand left in America. You know, there weren't millions of people living here like there were in South America. because of the cold climate. You know what I'm saying? You know, there was never really all that large population of Native Americans living here. You know, that's just the truth. You know, Native Americans are gone. You know what I'm saying? White people don't know what is their purpose anymore. They don't know what America's purpose is anymore. What is America's purpose anymore? You know what I'm saying? What is America? What does America stand for? You know, no one knows. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the reason why I knew Trump was going to win, because why? Because Trump gave them a vision. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's make America great again. When was America great? Well, after World War II, when they dropped the bomb on Japan, it was on high. This, that, and the other thing. Is America going to be economically great? And they said, well, that means a trade war with China. Guess what? He's waging a trade war with China. You know, something that Barack Obama, George Bush, and Bill Clinton would never thought of doing. You know, so in other words, he's basically saying he's serious about what he's saying, make America great again. That means confrontation with these other guys out here. Now, what does that mean for black people? Now, black people can do a couple things. You could just ride it out and say, well, I know for a fact of the matter is this. Black people are like, every time we have jobs, we are the lagging. You know what I'm saying? We're never on the front. Like when you have a new stock in the business, you know, the shareholders usually get their money on the front end. You know what I'm saying? You're on the front end, back end. Black people are on the back end of everything. You know, when you talk about jobs and everything like that, that's the back end. You know, and until when the big people with their money get taken care of, the excess, we've always benefited from the excess of America. You know what I'm saying? But how can you benefit from the excess of America when you got immigrants coming in? They did that on purpose. You know, they brought immigrants in here by the millions, right? To make sure black people don't get the excess. You know, because the bottom line is they do not want black people empowered whatsoever. They have to keep.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm saying so. Therefore, this idea of people telling you this, they're lying to you. There is no economic plan. I have not seen any credible economic plan for Black America. You know what I'm saying? I have not seen any credible economic plan for Black America. You know, I have never seen one. You know, we had them back in the 80s and everything, when we did have people like Andrew Jackson and Maynard Jackson, people like that. You know, and we, like I said, we lost that election, and Bush Dukakis. You know, that was the biggest loss. We had nothing to bring Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton knew that if he even thought about a black economic agenda, that he would lose. You know what I'm saying? And like I said in my video, I said black people are toxic. You have to, and every president have to know, have to make it clear that the only thing you talk about black America. Notice how Donald Trump will never talk about black business. He'll never say, "Okay, we got black businesses," because that doesn't fit into the narrative. White people have just now, 2018, got to the point where they can accept you talk about black jobs and employment. Before, there used to be a saying. I don't know if you heard this or not. Brace yourself for this. There's an old saying that used to be in America, right? And this was talked about at political rallies, everything across the board, by respectable political parties. No job for niggers until every white man has a job. You ever heard that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, no job. It was a campaign slogan that was used. No job for niggers until every white man has a job.
Well, it got to the point where they would have riots if white people and kill, and they would have riots
if black people had jobs. They had jobs, right? Let's say they're doing something that white people didn't do, right? Let's say they're doing shitty work that white people do, but they will seem like they'll make a living. White plant closed down, they had a fire, and they're about to go hungry. Instead of the white people blaming the mismanagement or whatever like that, they will come right in the black area, right? Kick the black people out of the factories and whatnot and take over their jobs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what we had to endure. White people are now, 2018, just willing now to accept the fact that black people can have jobs.
So let me ask you this. So people like Kanye West, people like a lot of these black Republicans who say, "Oh, that was the past. Get over that."
No. The past is the present and the future. We can't get over that. You know what I'm saying? There's no getting over it. There's no forgiveness for that. No forgiveness for slavery. There's no forgiveness for anything. Well, look, it's just something you have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. Talk to any Jewish person, right? Bring up the Holocaust, right? You'll never tell a Jew, get over the Holocaust, right? Even though America had nothing to do with the Holocaust, right? No, this is even though there's questions, I've done some research, there's questions about the authenticity of the Holocaust. That's another show, you know? Jews and everybody else, and whenever they say no, this is our Holocaust, this is what happened to us, this the lynching museum and everything like that. No, let's move, let's sleep your dog's leg. They see that's how they think they master us. They can tell us, no, forget about it, move on, this and the other thing. If you don't, you better. That's because you're not a free person. And the people like this, the people want white friendship and acceptance so much that they'll say, you know, something. I think it's time to move on. Don't talk about slavery. You know, they say that not to like they say that in defending white people. You know what I'm saying? That's to defend white people because when they go to their white friends, see what I said about them. They want to make white people. It's all about making white people happy and comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Now, people. I tell people all the time when people, when white guy comes on my page and YouTube, whatever, like that, you're like, oh, well, come with my radio show. Yo, I was like, first of all, man, you're not gonna come on my show, call me nigga, this and everything. I'll let him talk, you know. Well, you know, in my chat room, I said, well, blah, 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 blah. I said, look, first of all, I did not ask you to come to my broadcast. You know what I'm saying? You took it upon yourself to come to my broadcast because you want to pick a fight. I'm not gonna change my viewpoint. That's the way I see the world. That's the way I am. This is the beauty about social media. Another thing is, this is the beauty about what I do. I'm not worried about that because that lady that's saying, people are saying, move on. They know their money is tied to them saying what they say. Like that stupid Kevin Jackson from Fox News. I had a debate with him one night on his radio show. You know, he wrote a book called Big Black Lie, and all kind of some stupid second grade reading level book about black Democrats and all stuff like that. But basically, the bottom line is this: these people are opportunists, right? They believe. Look, this is how it is, right? They believe America's a certain way. Like, okay, they got the good life, everything like that. Okay, I commend them for that. They got a good life in America. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it on the aesthetics, right? Until a cop hits you upside the head and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Until something happens to you, you get busted upside the head by a cop, get carjacked or mugged, whatever like that. Or somebody call you a nigger, you know what I'm saying? Or you get told you can't move into a certain neighborhood and so like that. Till those things happen to you, you know what I'm saying? You're basically saying, "Oh, what a great country America is," you know?
Right. But the thing is, Calla, a lot of these things are happening to these people, and they're excusing it as isolated.
No, it's not happening to them personally.
No. Some people like the Candace Owens chick. Her family.
That was before. That was beforehand, right? You know what I'm saying? That was before. She was probably one of those black chicks that like white guys. It happened to her. Just said the other thing, right? She's not in that situation anymore, right? Yeah, situation she sued, got her a little bit of money and everything like that. Now, but instead of being mad at the white guys, right? This is how sick these people are. They'll turn that and say it was racism. It was affirmative action. It was black ghettoism. Everything that turned. They believe that white racism is caused by black people. And you ask them, was there affirmative action when they brought the first slaves over here? No. Africans had to do it. So in other words, the Wall Street banks and everything that gave the capital to find and insurance companies like Aetna that financed and insured the slaves that came over here and everything like that. Was that done because of affirmative action or minority set-asides? Or was that done because of Section 8 housing? Was that done because of poverty? Was that done because of gangster rap? Was that done because of all the stuff? No. Then why did they do it? Why did they basically say as a race? I mean, this is what unforgivable. When you condemn a race of people, a group of people, to slavery because they're race, take wealth from them by making them work for you for hundreds of years and everything like that, and unapologetic, that's unforgivable. That's unforgivable. See, to me, I come from the standpoint of America. That's unforgivable. We can never be. I'm like this. I'm a captive. I'm a let man without a country. You know that's the way I look at it. You know. Now, some people. I live to be perfectly honest with you. To be perfectly honest.
Go ahead.
Okay, to be perfectly honest with you. I have empathy for black people. Say, you know something. I understand that, Kalla, but I think I made my peace, man. I think I made my peace. I think there's enough of America willing to stuff like that. And I say, you know something? We could still be brothers and friends. And when I got people here that are pro-American and everything like that, and I like the people like that. You know why? Because I'm finding myself that the majority of people that I'm gonna need to make a national food work are like that. It don't take much to be like, okay, I understand. See, I understand you're American. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look. I want you to be happy here. I want you to be a good American. I want you to be all those things and everything like that. But can you see my point of view? Don't you think we should have a nation of our own just in case? And then they're like, you know something? I think we can work together.
Okay.
You see what happens with a lot of nationalists. They'll start just bashing black people. You stupid Uncle Tom, Negro King, blah 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 blah. But I understand people, man's complex, man's complex. Just like I
Right.
wouldn't understand how it was the Navajo Indians who helped break the Japanese codes and stuff like that. In other words, during World War II when the U.S. The Japanese would intercept the U.S. codes. Do you
Yep.
know
Yep.
they
Yep.
had the Navajo Indians like that, and Japanese couldn't break them because they couldn't speak Navajo.
Mm-hmm.
So the Navajo Indians played a decisive role in in um in World War II in the Pacific Theater. Why would the Navajos do that after the so-called genocide and everything? Who knows why people do what they do? But they were rewarded. They were, these guys served distinction and everything like that. They live good lives. People move on from stuff like that. But what I'm saying, what these black coons do is they want to beat you down for even thinking of opposing America. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of saying it's their job to win us over and say, something, look, this is all the good things about America. This is what we could do. This is the other thing. They're gonna come at you like, oh, you stupid. And then not only they come at you, they're always in front of white people talking bad about. This is what they say. This is what they're about. This, that, the other thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna stoop to their level. You know what I'm saying? I would say, something. I understand what you're saying. Well, look, I believe in education too. I believe in families. I believe in all this stuff like that. I'm against crime. I'm against drugs. I'm all those things too. Well, college this and thing. No, I believe in this. I believe in this. Anybody come to the BAO and see our education and our STEM groups and the amount of intellect we have in BAO, we're not some dummies. You know what I'm saying? Now they say now I have people over here who join the BAO. They just like the fellowship. They got bros. We have conversations we have over the years. Everything that I have people out here that are pro-American and everything. I can't get down with the black naps stuff, but man, I understand where you're coming from and everything. And they ask you questions. Hey, what do you think about this? What kind of nation state would you? Well, I believe in this. I believe in that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I believe this. This is what we should take from America. This is what we should bring from Africa. This is what we should bring from Black American culture. Everything like, and people after a while, people are like, something. If you guys do this, man, hey, look, I can see myself taking a visit and supporting. But the thing is, though, you have people that believe phony nationalist movement believe that unless they beat black people down over the head, you got like look, America. This is what I'm saying. I said the end of the tangible, and it's gonna be the end of the vague and abstract, and the beginning of the tangible and real. America is tangible and real. You know what I'm saying? Our idea of African nationalism is vague and abstract right now, right? Until we do have a homeland and state, which is real. You know what I'm saying? When it becomes real, you know what I'm saying? Then you can compete. Now it's vague and abstract. You know what I'm saying? Now, when that, you got to understand something. The conservative, you got to give it to them. To the victor blows the spoils. Look, they're in a state. And one thing we do in like I study martial arts, right? If the opponent is stronger than you, right, you got to give. It's called stressing and giving. When somebody is bigger than you, stronger than you, you got to fight him by giving. You know what I'm saying? You don't fight his force full on. America is real. America is reality. You know what I'm saying? For millions of black people, this is reality. You know what I'm saying? Africa is not reality yet. You know what I'm saying? And African nationalism, we don't have it over here. It's not reality yet. Black man in Africa is not reality yet. It's a vague abstraction. Now, America is a reality. America in the sense that, well, not that you're ever going to be equal in America, but you're here and you're going to have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what the black conservatives are telling you. They say no matter what you do, you're going to have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So no matter who you vote for, you got to take a choice. You know what I'm saying? If Trump says this and whatnot, you better listen to him carefully. You know what I'm saying? If somebody says this, you better listen to him carefully. Because either way, you know what I'm saying, you still black in America. So in that sense, both the Kanye side and the Coons, they're right. You know what I'm saying? You got to look for other options besides the Democrats. You're absolutely right about that. Because the bottom line is this: sitting there saying, "Well, Democrat, either way you're gonna lose." You know what I'm saying? Either way you're gonna lose. Either way you're still black in America. So basically, why don't you become the deciding vote and become undecided? What if Black Americans say, you know something, we don't know who we're gonna vote for this year. You know what happen?
Right.
And white America is divided right in half right now. You have those strong white liberals and everything who hate conservatives, hate people like Trump. They hate each other. You know what I'm saying? We've never had this in our history. You know, white was white and everything. When it came down to it, really black people decided to vote. White people will come find a way how to neutralize us and go on. Black people deciding vote. But then, even if you are deciding vote, there's nothing on the table that you're going to vote for. Can you
Right.
tell me an agenda? Can you tell me any national agenda? Where's our political party at? You know what I'm saying? Where are things? Where's the
when it comes to the political party, every time you say, "Hey, black people, we need to go ahead and start a political party," oh well, you're gonna waste the vote. It's a wasted vote. You're gonna waste the vote. I mean,
yeah, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You know, and not only that, what political parties do is collect money, and they put issues on the ballot. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
When those issues come on the ballot, they get put into legislation, and people benefit from it. But the bottom line is, you have black people who don't know. Okay, are you voting for social issues? Are you voting for economic issues? Are you voting for political issues? We don't know who we are, and they do this deliberately by keeping us stripped. One of the things that's on black people's political agenda is police accountability. You know, and to be perfectly honest with you, right? I don't see that ever happen on any level. Not even when New York City, we got Mayor what's his name
De Blasio,
whatever De Blasio says the officer was justified in shooting that crazy guy with a pipe in his hand.
right?
You know, he has to win the confidence of his police. You know what I'm saying? He has to build back the trust. He tried that. He said, in other words, he basically says black people ain't worth the political risk. That's happened all over America. White America wants the police force strong. If sending a message to black people that you talk back to a cop, you could die. You know what I'm saying? If that has to do it, that's always going to be there. Because the white America is the police on the thin blue line between us and them and chaos, what they call chaos. It has nothing to do with no Hells Angels bikers. They can deal with that. It has nothing to do with no mafia. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with white people are terrified of the former slave descendants. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They'll use Nigerians to come over here and say, why don't you be like them? They're not angry. They'll succeed. They'll help. Like they when you see Nigerians getting into these positions, they're not. That's not because people recruited them to do that, to discredit black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's done deliberately. You know, that's done deliberately like that. So therefore, that's what you have in Black America right now. You know what I'm saying? They're waging a war on us. And what gets me is black people don't even know. They don't even have any clue that they're being waged war against. You know, I can see things a mile away. You know what I'm saying? I know when they start talking about African immigrants, or when they put up this false narrative that black women are the most educated, that's a threat to. That's a
well, you know, Issa Rae said that in her article. She's saying that black women are more educated than black men.
No. This is what the stats is. Black women are most enrolled. You know what I'm saying? You still got more black men in professorships. You still got more black men in CEOs. And the net worth of black men is like 10 times what the net worth of black women. Black women are more likely to be on Section 8 in poverty and stuff like that, and live in poverty and stuff like that. Most of the Section 8 and more black women are dependent on the social system. You know, the social services, welfare, food stamps, everything. You know, a single motherhood. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of black women in America. Then you got a large number of black women who are doing really well, but that percentage is so freaking small. And they said black women most educated. Remember something. Even if you take all the black women who are in college, they don't even add up to like the 10% of all the white males who are actually enrolled. It's the percentage of black women that enroll in college. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, the white males don't have to roll in college at the higher percentage because they already have wealth. You know what I'm saying? White males have the lowest percentage of people enrolled in college, right? But yet they make up 99% of all top positions. You know? So therefore they put this stuff out there to say, oh, black women are most enrolled in college. Yeah, they're most enrolled by percentage. By percentage, in other words, basically, if you take every group of people, you got black women are most enrolled. They got like by percentage, they say let's say 50%, like five. Let's say give me a number. 35% of black women enroll in college, right? Let's say the number drops down to 30% for white women. You know what I'm saying? The Asian women drop it down a little bit for Asian women, and goes down like the white. Goes down like that. Now the percentage compared to the population of black women, but that's still that number of white women is like 10 times the number of black women. So it'll be 10 times the aggregate number of white women who actually enroll. Just like there'll be 10 times the number of white men who actually enrolled in Ivy League schools and everything like that. You know, people run black women are the most educated. Oh, come on. And then when they're educated, you're talking about low-paying professions when they graduate. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Black people are overrepresented in low-paying professions. You know, they're obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Teachers and stuff like that. Now they're rioting out there in Phoenix over teachers' pay. You know,
right?
And let me say something about that. I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything like that, but a teacher back in the days, I remember my first grade teacher. Her name was Miss Kimberwoods, right? She was Miss Kimberwoods until Christmas vacation. Then when we come back for Christmas, she had a big thing on the thing. It said Mrs. Palmieri, you know. I remember first grade teacher, real nice white lady. You know what I'm saying? She was Miss Palmieri. She got married, you know. Most teachers back in the days were young, single white women, and they were only a teacher until they got married or whatever like that. A husband, it was a two-family income. Now these women, think about it, women, there's like, I got 2 degrees, I'm a teacher. Well, teachers, you can't bankrupt a school system because you want to live the good life and everything. Teachers is supposed to be, you teach because, okay, you love to teach. You know what I'm saying? You love children, you love to teach. It wasn't about the pay. When I was in high school, most of my teachers taught, but they had other jobs, they had businesses. One was a city councilman, one owned like his own business and stuff like that, you know. That's what I remember school teachers being, you know what I'm saying? One of them was on the board, the other one was coaching, he coached the basketball team, whatever like that, you know. That's what teachers did, you know. And so they did other things, projects besides the teaching. Now these teachers nowadays, they think that they're gonna use the public money to get rich. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You want what? You want $70,000 a year to teach? No, it don't work like that. And trust me, in my family, I got like 3 of my cousins are school teachers. One's a school principal in Hall School. You know, I understand the thing like that, but they're always talking about money, this and the other thing, but the lifestyle they want to live. You know what I'm saying? The lifestyle they want to live for teaching junior high school. You know, it's like unbelievable. They granted you got your degrees and everything like that.
Yeah. Oh no, go ahead. I was gonna ask. What. I mean, just what as far as Black America. I mean, again, it's just we have no sense of a lot of us don't have a sense of identity. Do you really think it's a wrap for us? And then what we'll do, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and close out.
Okay, what it is in Black America, we're back to where we were right after the Civil War. Back to the Civil War, Black America was everybody was individual. There was nobody of a black leader. The institution of a black leader was basically constructed by white people. Yeah. In other words, basically, most white people. If you read my novel, Journey to the Promised Land, you know, I state that black people did not want to stay in the South. They did not want to. They saw that the Klan and all these other people were terrorizing them. They were never going to give them a fair shake. So we're ready for anything. It was leaving America altogether, going out west and everything like that. You know, the white capitalists from the north and the south needed slavery, right? But they couldn't convince the black people to do that, right? So what they did was they started creating this institution in media called the Black Leader. Now this Black Leader really was in front of black people, right? But they were in newspaper articles and stuff like that, you know. Like W.B. Bush never in front of black people. You know what I'm saying? Not really the book that you watch. You know what I'm saying? but they were basically given money, and they were lauded by white leaders and everything as the leaders of the race. And black people really had no choice but to fight Frederick Douglass too, because they were what they said. Frederick Douglass said the blessed place for the black man is to remain in the South. And black people said, forget it. Kansas Exodus and the Liberia Exodus. And who was Frederick Douglass speaking for? He was speaking for the white money power structure who needed black labor, And then they began to write laws, black people, vagrancy laws for Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Let me close that way. Are we at Quinn?
Yeah, go ahead and tell the story. Then we'll close out that way. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I remember this was the year was 1980, upstate New York, where I lived at. There was a black man, right? Well, successful businessman, whatever like that, was pulled over in Rockland County, right? And his license came back that he was wanted in Florida from the 1960s, that he escaped from a chain gang.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he said, look, the state of Florida said we want him back. And what happened was these vagrancy laws lasted into the 60s. What happened was you would get convicted, somebody accused you of crime, convicted, right? Instead of locking you up, the judge will release you to a labor gang or stuff like that. But he skipped out and went to New York and made his life over, had a family, everything, But they wanted him back. But what I'm saying, my point is this though, that was reminiscent of what the black people had to go in the South. They went from slavery to another sort of hell of like Jim Crow and all these other things and everything like that. So we never had a breathing room. Every black man was individual. No black person can claim that he speaks for the mass of black people because they know, every black person knows whatever decision you make, right? You know what I'm saying? That person that's supposed to hold you is not going to be with you when you fail, whatever like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So we never had a leadership. We never had somebody say, okay, come over here. I got a job for you. We're going to build this. We're not that people. We're not that people. We never had a government. We had 500, probably the most intelligent, the most educated black people. But we're still children because another race of people give us two candidates to choose from, and we basically never had a position where we can make our own decisions. Why? Because our development has been on this, and we stay there. It is always going to be like that as long as we're in America. You know what I'm saying? It's America's problem. America is the problem. You know what I'm saying? America arrests our development, takes our manhood, until we basically have something outside of America. Not all of us, you know what I'm saying? All of us have to have that psychological, escape, and that's all I want to say.
All right, cool. I mean, I was gonna say in closing, make sure you share with everybody how they can get in contact with you. I'll put the link to the website in the chat, the bio.
Yeah, you can call to
BAIO Africanistan. Make sure
number 5.ning.com.
Yep, the link is definitely in the chat room.
That's on social network.
Yeah, go ahead and tell people about the social network.
Let me see. In the social network, we have blogs, we have different groups. People form a group. Well, to me, it's a place, right? That it's not just some fly-by-night people. You sign up, there's people in there and everything like that. And also, with the social network, you can create your own blogs and put them out over the internet. And when you have a published blog from the social network, right? That gives you a little more clout in Facebook. I always want to worry people that basically the only thing they have is free platform. You have to bet we took this time to build a Ning platform because we want to be independent. Nobody can take that away from us. We pay for that ourselves. Remember, we pay for that ourselves. And we get together, we chip in our nickels and dimes, and we pay for all stuff like that. We want to make the BAO social network the meeting place. Even though we grow big and this stuff like that, the stuff you're going to hear about what we're doing in Africa is going to be through the things, and that's the only way you're going to contact us in the future. Just as we move on Facebook and stuff, And that's all we're going to do, because we're going to switch from the name site to what's that other thing? Well, the project management groups. I forgot the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
We the project man. We're gonna go that when we start really doing stuff. And so therefore the name site is basically a socialization. We get to know each other. Socialization is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? People tell us about what you do, what's your profession, what do you do for a living, and everything. What's your thoughts and insights and everything like that.
Right.
That's what we use the social network for. It's hard because it seems to me like people like, well, I don't want to share too much and everything like that, but they're giving out all the information, all stuff like that. The Ning site shows that we are pretty serious. That's what I feel. This is a real thing. It's a real organization that really has the idea of making the Pan-African heart. I'm saying, and we got people joining up every day, and like I said, in the future, I'm going to reveal more, but I can't tell most of the information. But very, very soon, people are going to learn about some of the stuff we're doing and what's going on. I promise you that, it's coming soon.
All right, brother. Perfect, man. Calagenis, again, it's always an honor to have you on, and
it's an honor to be on. It's an honor to be on.
Always an honor to have you on, so I appreciate it.
Right,
everybody, thank you for joining us this evening. Make sure you go to search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also go to Africa Personified on those same platforms. Make sure you go to africapersonified.africa, go to searchforhuru.com, go to dynasamir.com, and go to amazon.com. Search your name, Dynasamir. Please buy a book. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Till next time, I'll be back on tomorrow. Peace.